I started my Beauty in the Biz podcast 2 years ago because it's no longer enough to be a great surgeon. Actually, great marketers often beat out excellent surgeons, at least in the short run. So this podcast is to keep you on track and remind you of what's important. Now, the industry has evolved with different rules and strategies, so it's time to up your own game. Because if you really want to be successful, you have to adapt to change. It's about staying nimble in your thinking because the marketplace has changed, attitudes about cosmetic rejuvenation have changed, the marketing channels have changed, the patient preferences have changed, and how they choose a service provider has changed. So you need to change with them or you'll get left in the dust. For my 100th special edition, I compiled the top 10 takeaways I've learned from the many plastic surgeons I've interviewed. Now, these surgeons have been in practice ranging from 4 months to 46 years. A majority were in solo practice, some are in practice with a partner, some have multiple partners. So I reviewed the interviews I've done with 28 plastic and cosmetic surgeons from around the nation, as well as from Lebanon, to give you my top 10 takeaways of what they are doing to succeed. So let's get started. Takeaway number 1, they have a growth mindset. They believe their abilities can be developed. They're open to growing as a person, a surgeon, and a business person. They're passionate about growing their practice and always striving to be better. Now they're willing to push the envelope, learn, evolve, and change. They also stay open to life and opportunities that come their way. They think positive and are very optimistic about their future. They have resilience and they see challenge as an opportunity to grow. They believe their efforts determine their abilities and growth. And they're open to new technologies, marketing trends, and surgical techniques. Now here's takeaway number 2. They learn new skills. Many surgeons have decided they're good at surgery, but not good at managing people or businesses or marketing. So their minds are shut down to learning. Maybe because they spend so much time as a student, they're done, and I completely understand that. Or maybe business wasn't taught in medical school, so they're closed to learning new skills. Now, the successful surgeons open their minds and learn the business of plastic surgery by reading books, joining masterminds, and working with consultants. They study and they believe the sayings, earners are learners and leaders are readers. They believe they can learn to do anything, and they like to try new things versus sticking to what they already know. Takeaway number 3, they know their numbers. They manage their money. They watch their expenses and know their ROI on their surgical and non-surgical procedures, as well as their marketing efforts. They have goals they are trying to hit, and the staff knows them as well. So rather than abdicate their responsibility, these surgeons take full responsibility for knowing what's happening in their practice. They have a bookkeeper and an accountant to do the work, but they review the work and the numbers regularly so there are no surprises. They review the bank statements and ask questions so staff knows they are watching the numbers. Takeaway number 4, they treat their team like an asset rather than a liability. Staff is not an overhead expense. These surgeons know they can't do this alone and they need a team supporting them. They meet their team regularly and get their feedback from the front lines. They have a trusted right hand helping them keep the business side running smoothly. They have a team mindset. They respect the staff to be professionals, but still they trust and verify. They build a culture of a team with a purpose. Philanthropic efforts to give back are a key part of their culture. These surgeons meet with staff regularly to lead them and keep them in the loop. They set up a culture of excellence and offer good pay, team bonuses, free additional training to better the staff so they grow as well as incentives and appreciation, including team parties, food trucks, and in-house masseuses to keep it fun. And they hire slowly and fire fast if someone does not fit with their culture. Takeaway number 5, they have a patients for life mindset. They see their patients as friends and family and treat them with respect. They understand that these happy patients can be patients for life, and they refer their friends and family and return for more. They know it's far easier to keep these patients coming back, so they offer comprehensive services to include in all stages of life. Actually, Dr. Grant Stevens reported on average, his cosmetic patients have 3 surgical procedures over 22 years for a total of $80,000 to $120,000. They also attract more sophisticated patients who know you get what you pay for versus catering to the price sensitive who don't value skill and experience as much as saving money. These surgeons go above and beyond to take care of their patients by offering their cell phone, and one surgeon even did house calls. Now, rather than discount their surgery, they added value instead. For example, facelifts come with skin rejuvenation laser treatments, and lymphatic massage come with liposuction. Now here's takeaway number 6. They fail and learn from it. They see failure as an opportunity to grow rather than a limit on their abilities. They know failure is just feedback and they try again. They see challenges as a good thing versus I don't like to be challenged. These surgeons stay curious and ask lots of questions. They take responsibility for everything that happens in their practice and they deal with it professionally. They react quickly to issues that come up and they think solutions. For example, a practice was losing 30% of patients who couldn't afford big surgical cases. So one surgeon started his own internal financing service. And during the COVID shutdown, many used that time as an opportunity to keep staff busy with additional training, improving their systems, and fine-tuning their processes. Now, takeaway number 7, they don't care what others think about them. They stay focused on what they're doing more than what their competitors are doing. Now, they don't care as much what their critics say about them as they do about their patients, what they say about them, since they're the ones who are paying the surgeon's bills. They do care what their patient thinks about them, and they learn from their bad reviews. They meet with their team to ask, is there any truth to this criticism? And how can we do better? Takeaway number 8, they spend money to make money. They know money buys them time. They see marketing as an investment rather than focus on saving money. They focus on making money. They think abundance versus scarcity. They know you can't shrink your way to success. You can cut some expenses, but the real way to wealth is to focus on assets and income. Now, they're frugal with their time, not their money. They understand the opportunity costs of doing things that should be outsourced, such as learning SEO and writing your own web copy. They have win-win relationships with their vendors who help them succeed. As a matter of fact, during COVID, several surgeons doubled down on their marketing and they cut deals with advertisers when everyone else pulled back. That allowed them to gain attention as well as market share. They give money away. They donate to worthy causes because it gives their staff the why they do what they do and a common purpose for the whole team, and it makes everyone feel good. Takeaway number 9, they keep their ego in check and control their emotions. It's a tough one. They're even-tempered and they treat everyone with respect. Now, they're open to being wrong if it helps the practice grow. These surgeons see feedback as constructive versus taking feedback and criticism personally. They take responsibility, I can't say it enough, and they don't blame staff, the competition, or the government. They get outside help to discover what they didn't know that is holding them back. They ask questions versus being a know-it-all. They stay open to ideas and suggestions from their staff and advisors. And they're able to let go of control and micromanaging because they trust the people around them. Now, they're competitive by nature for sure, and they use that for motivation to grow. They stay curious by visiting other practices, attending conferences, and talking with their colleagues to learn what others are doing that's working. And they're always honing their craft to make them the best at what they do. When a challenge comes up, they focus on solutions rather than running from it and hoping it just goes away. These surgeons eliminate practice drags such as draining staff and difficult patients. They also delegate tasks they dislike doing to people they trust, but they also follow up to be sure it's getting done. And takeaway number 10, they think big. They grow uncomfortable being the only revenue generator in the practice. They look for ways to leverage their reputation, their experience, and staff. They figure out how to scale by working on their practice rather than in it. They see they could do more than just surgery. They look at other streams of income rather than work harder and longer, which leads to burnout and ineffectiveness. They also spend more time finding, managing, and mentoring key players in their practice who become major revenue generators, so the surgeon can focus more on the business side, such as adding more surgeons, injectors, estheticians, and locations. And there you have it, the top 10 takeaways I got from the surgeons I interviewed. Now, you may want to listen to this again since it contains an awful lot of pearls to consider when creating your own roadmap to success. And of course, please contact me if you could use some guidance.